We're less than a week into 2026 and most people have already failed their New Year's resolutions. And a lot of the reason is because of these two key things. Hey guys, Coach Carling here. Now, I've been in the fitness and coaching industry for 17 years. And every single year at this time of year, I always see the same thing. It's people failing their New Year's resolutions goals. They have these great ambitions of turning their life around, turning their health and well-being around, training for a race, whatever it is, but they always fail in the first week or two in January. And a lot of the time it's because of these two key reasons. Number one, their goals are unrealistic. They're aiming for 100%. For example, I'm going to get up at 5:30 a.m. every single day and start exercising for the whole of January or the whole of 2026. It's an unrealistic goal because you get to one day, whether you're sick, whether you slept in, whether you got called into work, and suddenly your goals are out the window. A much more realistic goal for this would be, I'm going to aim to get up at 5:30 every day. I'm going to aim to exercise every day for the whole of January. And my goal is to do this 80% of the days in January. This just allows a little bit of leeway. So again, if you're sick one day, if you get called into work, if you slept in, at least you've got an opportunity to still achieve that goal. And the most important thing is that you're still becoming that person. You're still improving that trait. You're still improving that area of your life or your well-being. Just because you miss 1 or 2 days here or there doesn't mean that you're not going to get fitter. Doesn't mean that you're not going to improve your sleeping habits. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get healthier. But the moment that you put an unrealistic goal and it all falls apart on 1 day or 2 days or 1 week, suddenly that just ruins the whole rest of the year and what you're actually trying to achieve overall, which is a healthier, happier you. So the number one thing I would say is to make sure that your goals are actually realistic. They're not make or break all about 100%. You don't need 100%. It's not fully black or white. Just need to make sure whatever you're doing is about long-term consistency despite little ups and downs. So again, instead of I'm going to train every single day for 100% of the days in January, I'm not going to miss a day no matter what. Try something a little bit more realistic. Keep that same goal, that same idea, that same intent, but the actual goal itself, what you're trying to achieve is 80% of those days. The old 80-20. Number two, this one's a big one. Everyone at this time of year tries to completely transform their lives. They start a new exercise regime, especially off doing next to no exercise in December. They start wanting to eat healthy. So it's only healthy foods now. They start drinking more water. They start going to bed at a certain time and starting to wake up at a certain time. And they're trying to transform their whole life in all different aspects, all at the same time. Now, these are all healthy habits. They're all healthy things, but it's also very, very stressful for the brain to adapt to these things. So what ends up happening is they become too stressed out. It becomes too overwhelming. And then they just give up within less than a week. At best, maybe 2 weeks. Try not to transform everything at once. Make sure that what you're changing, what you're improving, what you're enhancing is done in incremental stages. If it's an exercise regime, don't go from 0 to hero. Don't go from training maybe once or twice to suddenly now running every single day. That's unrealistic. You're going to end up injured. You're going to end up overtrained. And it's not going to achieve the goal that you ultimately want. If at some point in that year, you want to get yourself to be able to run 5 or 6 days a week, do it in stages. If you're coming from nowhere, maybe the first month or so is maybe running 2 to 3 times a week. If you're wanting to run, for example, 5 times a week at some point in 2026, you want to train for a marathon, Don't just go from 0 to hero. Don't go from not running at all or barely running to now suddenly trying to run every single day. You're just going to end up injured, overtrained, and you're going to last about 2 to 3 weeks at max. Instead, do it in stages. Okay, I haven't run at all in the last 2 to 3 months or 6 months or 12 months. Maybe I should do 2 runs a week for the first 3 weeks, and then I'm going to go to 3 weeks to run for the next 3 weeks. And then I'm going to go to 4 if I'm feeling good. Do it in stages. Don't try and completely transform the whole thing all at once. And the same applies with like your eating. If you've been eating crap the whole year and now suddenly in January you're going to decide that you're going to completely transform your diet and start eating only healthy foods and only being religious with everything that you do, again, you're probably setting yourself up for failure. Do it incrementally. Start maybe cutting out one thing that's bad, or just adding a piece of fruit here and there. That might be for the first week, you might do that. So if you're going to transform the time that you wake up, the exercise regime that you do, the eating habits that you might have, and maybe some other type of exercise or mental challenges, as I said, do it incrementally in stages. Don't transform everything all at once. Focus on one thing, bring that in, give yourself time to adapt, give your brain time to adapt to it, then bring in the next thing, and then the next thing. And I can guarantee, if you have this more sustainable approach, if you have this more structured system in place, it's much more realistic that by the end of January, or by the end of March, or by the end of June, or by the end of 2026, you're actually going to be in a much healthier, happier place. Your exercise regime is going to be awesome. You're going to be fitter, you're going to be stronger, you're going to be healthier, you're going to be eating properly, and you're going to be a lot less stressed. Try this. Don't go all out at once. Do it in stages and just be consistent and realistic. And you're going to be so much more happy and healthy in 2026.